You must know that it's rare to print Japanese washi dry unless you're doing just a one-color design of only lines or ABC, something like that. Then you don't necessarily need to moisten the paper, but for every other occasion, Japanese washi has to be moistened, lightly moistened, but evenly moistened. And the moisture has to be kept just about the same from the beginning to the end. And that's where you will have a great, great, great challenge and a great, great, great deal of trouble. Because the level of moisture has to remain virtually the same, or things go wrong. I'll show you something today, right now, that's quite simple and quite basic. But there are lots of ways to moisten Japanese paper. But I'll show you just one. This is a technique that is basic and that you have to know in order to, first off, larger prints, and also far more. Like if you want to make 100 of, and it's 11 colors, it will take you some long time, and your moistening it has got to be perfect, or you won't get half of what you want. This is the size of a small print, and this is the back, and it's on the side. And you turn it over, and you very lightly moisten it. The moistening back has already been moistened. I know both sides of all three sheets are moistened. This is extremely easy to moisten because the brush is even bigger than the paper. But when you start trying to moisten a sheet that's like this, you can work with a larger brush. There are larger brushes. I have a brush that's this wide, but you have to work, very evenly. First off with this, and then next with this. You've got to get the layer, even and the same thickness everywhere, over the whole thing. And I just leave that there, and then pick up this one. This paper is curling, and the reason probably is that it has not been saved with a natural chemical. So the water is going right immediately into the paper. When you've sized the paper with a very natural, we can say chemical, although it's not, but it's a natural ingredient, then the water will continue to go into the paper, but very, very, very slightly. Although that's great. That's what we want. We don't want this paper, even this water, even though it's lightly sprayed. We don't want it to enter into the paper, to the other side. This is the front, the smooth side of the paper. You can tell the back of the paper easily with just touching it with your fingers. The back is very rough, and the point where the picture goes is quite smooth. And you pick all this up like this, and you turn it around, and you put the first one back here, the second one evenly here and here. This is to make it even, to make it easy to pick one sheet up at a time and bring it out and put it on the board and print it. It's lightly, evenly moist. My fingers can tell that, and that's great. And you pick the whole thing up and you open this up to the bottom layer between the middle and the very bottom, and you put that in like that in the middle. The moistening pack has to be bigger than the paper. And this is only 6 sheets, but if I was doing 60 sheets, and it would be something like this, and I would have to have even a larger edge on all 4 sides to keep the air from going inside and drying the edges of the print, which is really, really, really difficult. And when you start doing a very large print like this, and your moistening pack is like I've said many times, about 10 centimeters bigger on all 4 sides. And still, if you're doing 60 prints or 80 prints or 100 prints, you've got to actually have 2 moistening packs. If I were printing 100 prints, even this one, even if this one were 100, they would be in here. Their moistening pack would be something like this. But I would not print one at a time from 1 to 100. I would not do that. I cannot do that. I should not do that. What I would do is have over here a smaller moistening pack which can handle 15 prints, for example, and then take out the next 15, put them in here, and work like that back and forth for 15 times. It's easy to do, and then put these up and pick them up and put them in here. Of course, neatly. They can't be on top of each other like that, obviously. And I'll do that until I have printed, color number 1 or whatever it is, or whatever I want to call it, 100 times. And then, of course, you turn the thing over like this. Never, ever, ever turn over a moistening pack like this, because your washi will slide out. It's guaranteed. You have to tip it over like this, turn it around, and drop it down. And then the paper to print is again, of course, down here. And you move the top 15 sheets to here, and you print that color number 2 until this gets up to be like that. And then once again, you pick it up and you turn it around like that and put it down. And you're okay. If you're doing 11 colors, it's going to take you 1 week or a week and a half, case by case. If that's okay, we'll go and have a cup of coffee. Bye-bye.